and welcome to our first crafting session for this week. It is Monday morning, the 11th of November 2024. My name's Jenny McCormac. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that is, excuse me, here in the UK. Thank you for joining us. We have a new stamp set of the week this week, and that is this one called Happy Hibiscus. This is not in a catalogue. This is one of our online extra offerings, and you can find this in my online shop. The stamp set itself is £23. It also has a set of matching dies and an embossing folder. Let me just grab this. So this is the embossing folder. I'm not sure how much of that you can see. I'll put a dark colour behind, but I haven't got one to hand. But it's got lots of the images of the hibiscus and some extra flowers and tiny little flowers as well. This is part of it that I have embossed. Not sure how much of that you can see. It's always difficult to show this when I've got the lights on. In daylight it's a bit easier, and obviously in person it's easier again. Oh, hi Kerry, good evening to you. So this is the embossing folder, and this has matching dies that go in the embossing folder that will cut out 3 of these flowers in one go, and that coordinates with these 3 flowers here. So this is one stamp. So this is one of those very clever sets of stamps. These are much bigger than they look like, excuse me, on the cover. So we have this set of 3, and you can use the dies, and there's lots of them in there. So as well as cutting out the flowers, there's these additional ones. There's 2 labels as well and 2 different leaves, but this particular die cuts out those 3 all together. Morning Catherine, and good morning Caroline. And it also cuts out the same ones from the embossing folder. I have to do it that way around because I've already embossed it like so. So you actually fit this into the embossing folder like so. Pop your card on it and it will emboss and cut out those 3, hopefully you can see those, at the same time. And here are 3, so you get them die cut with the embossing as well. It's like the layered leaves that we had earlier on. So you can buy the embossing folder, which comes with the dies separately, which in its own right will work because the embossing folder is beautiful, or you can buy it as a bundle with the stamp set, and you'll get that at a discount. I do like the circle and the sentiment set as well. There's my, I don't know if that's a better picture, but it's a hybrid embossing folder and it's 3D as well. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Phew. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's get cracking. So you'll see more of this later in the week, but today we're going to do our coffee and card design, and let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so here it is. So I've used a set of 3, and then I've stamped the individual on the edge as well. and then I've done a little bit of masking to add the leaves in and added the sentiment. So in the stamp set we have congratulations, you make me smile, thanks for being so kind. We have 2 sets of leaves here and here with an outer and an in. We have this little sort of scribble sketch effect, and then we have the set of 3 as one stamp, and then the infills are individual stamps. You could also just stamp this and colour this in with colouring pencils or blends pens, whichever you prefer. So I have got a card base. I'm going to go for Melon Mambo. Hibiscus are often pink. I think they can be yellow and orange as well. So I have got a Melon Mambo layer for my card, and then we're going to stamp onto this layer. Now this would be great as a larger card. The reason I've done it as a small square card is for Coffee and Card I've only got the 1 stamp set. So what it means is we can stamp the large flowers and then pass that stamp round, while people then add the sentiments and the infill, or they could colour in. So this is what we're going to do. This one is Blackberry Bliss and Bubble Bath infill, and then I've done that little bit inside with a little bit of sort of sketch. I don't know if you can see that, probably not, might be too light. So let's grab a block. There we go. Now normally I would put this on a larger block, but my large blocks are all out on loan for classes at the minute, so I'm just going to make do with it on here. I could put it on a very large block. I could also put it on a Stamparatus. I wonder actually if it will fit the long eyeball. No, that's out on loan as well, but I'll manage with it as is. But I will need a piece of paper underneath. So I hope you had a nice weekend. The weather here is nice and bright this morning. Hooray. It was lovely yesterday after a very sort of damp start. Okay, so the sizes of this card measures 99 millimeters by 99. This is 95 millimeters or 9.5 centimeters square, and this is 9 centimeters square. So let's start with this, and you could really do it any which way you want. You could stamp your sentiment first if you want to, and the obvious way for this to go is sort of this way or whatever. You could do it all the way over and add a sentiment on the top. I'm going to stamp in Melon Mambo, and I think I'm going to use Pretty in Pink for my infill. So I'm making sure hopefully that I ink up the whole stamp. Let's have it. I want to do it a different way to the one I've got there. So let's have it off to the right hand side. So I'm not worried about this not being on the block because it's actually going off the edges. There we go. There we are. It's really pretty. I love this detail. And then I can ink it up and have something else there. I'll ink up the large one. Actually, I'll ink it all just in case. Like that. I'm going to have my sentiment at the top again. And pop that there. Hopefully I've inked up enough that's off the block. There we go. I'm going to put my sentiment across the top. I'll make this one a congratulations card. Put that to one side. So you can, oh, I know what I wanted to do is just stamp another one and show you how you can just colour the middle if you didn't want to use the infill. So let me just do that really quickly. And obviously you could stamp this in any colour. You could stamp it in my favourite Early Espresso, Pebbled Path, because it's an outline stamp. There we go. So remind me to colour that one in. Okay, now I'm going to add a few leaves in there. And we have the two sizes of leaves in the set. And again, we have outlines and infills. I'm going to use the outline. I'm going to use the smaller one, but remember it's actually bigger than it shows on the front here, because we have to have all this other supporting information. So I'm going to grab a small one, and that is the outline. And I'm going to pop this in, but what I am going to do is just do a little bit of masking here, and I think I've got a mask, which is this one here, for that little piece, and I've got one here that I cut yesterday for this one. This is just on some scrap paper, it's not actually post-it note, but they'll just allow me to stamp in a few leaves here and here, and I might stamp another one and cut it out. Right, let's use some garden green. Just stamp that out. So I will stamp out all of the elements for you. And what these are, these images are slightly sketchy, so it does mean they're quite forgiving. So let's add, let's see, one here, and one here, like so, and I'm just going to have one coming in from the side, and so I'm not doing any more masking than that. Let's have a look and see. That looks okay. I maybe would have done that leaf further in so there's only a smaller amount, because obviously that's a big leaf for a small flower, but hey ho, it'll do fine for our purposes. Let's add congratulations across the top. Let me turn that over, and I'm going to do that in Melon Mambo, I think. And then you can use the infills. It's a nice congratulations, I have to say. Or you can do the colouring in, whichever you prefer, whichever your sort of preferred method is. You could do a mixture as well. So there's my congratulations. And one there at the top. And then let's grab the infills. So I've got the large one. And that's this one here. And I'm going to use Pretty in Pink. If you've only got one stamp set, one ink pad colour that you want, you could obviously stamp this off. Let's have a look and see what this is going to look like. Oh, it's too dark. Yeah, it's a little bit too dark. So I've got two choices. I can stamp off, or I can move some of this ink to one side. Let's just find a block to do that with. This is quite a new ink pad, so it's quite inky. So I'm just using the edge of a block. You could use a bone folder or a teaspoon or something. Can you see now how the ink is on the right hand side? This ink will work its way back down, but it means I haven't got as much ink when I'm stamping, and I'll get a lighter effect. You can do this with any ink pad. So now if I ink that up, I should have a lighter one. I don't know if you can see that from there or not. There's the full strength one, there's the stamped off one, which is very, very light, and then this is one where I've moved the ink. And if you think, oh, I still need it a little bit lighter, you can do it again, move some more ink across. Just make sure you don't catch, obviously, the edge of the ink pad and sort of pull it up. Okay. Right, so this is the larger flower. I'm looking where that detail is. There it is. Go. So there's that one. Hopefully you can see that. I don't think you'll see all of the detail that's on there, I have to say, because it's a light colour. And then there's this one here, and because it's quite sketchy, it doesn't have to be in the exact position. So there we go. Whoops. I don't know if you can see the detail of that now. Probably not. I'll try and do a close-up when I photograph it. Okay, there's that one, and let's do the others. There we go. Right, this is the middle one, and then the small one. So I'm going to use the same colours, but you could also do multiple colours for this. Right, let's find that. No, not that one. That looks like it. It's easier when you've got the whole flower to work on rather than just a part of it. And then let's just pop the small one on. And then oops, just dropped my stamp. Hold on 1 minute. Where'd it go? Oh. There it is. Sorry about that. Petunia, pot pretty pink, oh, fresh freezer. Yes, I think yes. Any of the pinks, purples, oranges, yellows. I need to do a little search on hibiscus flowers. There we go. And then I can do the same for the infill of the leaf. Let's grab that. On this one, I just use the infill as the main leaf. I didn't do the outline. You just get a different effect. Let's swap that one over. And I might use soft sea foam. I just want a subtle infill. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah. So There's one. Oh, that was close, wasn't it? Whew. I was just about to stamp that without the mask on. Did you hold your breath, everybody? Oh dear. Right, soft sea foam. My mask is back in place. There we go. There's that one. Ah, Kerry has an orange hibiscus growing in her yard. So I'm just doing these outside ones, and then I'll just mask that middle one again. There we go. And let's just mask that one off. They could almost be poppies as well, especially this one. Not so much this one that's got the bit in the middle, but this one could certainly be a poppy. Right, there we go. That's it. Oh, wrong one. There we go. And I'm going to stamp the inside as well. I should have done that earlier. So there's that. Let's just pop that on the inside. You definitely want the right the right size of block. And I might just put that in there like that. Ah, stamped it in green. It's Monday, not enough coffee. Okay, and let's just do the infill for that. Wrong one. It's not that one I want, it's that one. There we go. There's that one. And then the little one. Like so. And then that one I'm just going to pretend is a leaf. Only you will know. There we go. Alright, so that's our outside. These are our layers, 1 and 2. And I'll put those together. I just want to show you that if you wanted to, you can stamp the outline and just colour in. Let me see. I've got many number. I'm looking for a light pink, dark, pretty pink. It might be too dark. Let's have a look. It will do. So if you prefer, you can just stamp and colour in. This is the wrong pink for sure. but you get the gist of it. So if you prefer colouring in, then just stamp your outlines and colour your petals and leaves accordingly. Like so. Obviously I would choose light and dark and do a little bit more shading than that, but and I've just had another idea. I don't know if this is going to work, but bear with me. I'm just going to finish this one off. There we go. Yes. Okay, so you could colour all of that in using some shading. Oh, blending brushes. Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. So you could use blending brushes. So if I've got a pink one, here's a pink one. Thanks, Catherine. And if you've cut out your mask, you could put the negative element on there if you wanted to, but if not, you could also, I know this will be the wrong pink too, but use your blending brushes like so. Oh yes, I like that. You see the effect of that? Hopefully you can. It's definitely more subtle than my colouring, and you can combine the two, of course. Add ink onto the blended element there. So lots of different variations. The other one I've just thought of, which I'm just going to try, is if you stamp the infill and have a black pen, you could outline that. Looking for a black pen, which I know I have. I've got one here, this will do. A fine liner pen. So I've stamped the infill, and then you could out some of the detail with a pen, like so. So that would be another option. Some light and some more detailed pieces, like so. It does give them a totally different look. As Catherine says, they look good combined, for sure. And yes, just add a little bit more pink in the middle. So we'll do some experimenting at Coffee and Car this afternoon. So that's a combination. This one is just blended with a brush. And if you've got the small brush, you could be even more accurate. But to be honest, if you just use the tip of the brush and apply pressure with your finger, you can get the same you can get quite a good coverage without it going over. Even the small one here, just a small circular motion. Use the edge. There we go. So lots of different variations. So a great stamp set to have a play with. Let me cover these ink pads up and pop that one together. There we go. So I've just put some, I've got my tape here to hand. So I think, yes, definitely oranges sort of spring to mind. So I say this is an online additional item, so you can order them online or you can order them through me in the normal way. It's just that it doesn't appear in a catalogue. So there's my inside that I stamped. Let's add that layer on there, and then you could add a little bit of bling if you need. Or other embellishments. You could put this all the way over and then use one of the die cuts either in the centre, or you could use the banner across the top or across the edge. All sorts of variations in that. So there we go. That's our latest stamp set of the week. It's called Happy Hibiscus. I hope you'll have some fun with that. I'm sure we will at Coffee and Card. And I love Catherine's suggestion of using the blending brushes, and that's blending brushes and pens. That really makes it rich. I don't think my drawing was quite as good as it could have been, but hey ho. So thank you so much for joining me. Actually, if I'd just stamped it in black, that would have worked, or espresso, of course. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great week. I will be back here on Wednesday with a brand new kit, which I'm really loving. So I've sold all of the ones that I got in stock. I think I've got some more coming this week. And it is a beautiful watercolour set that includes watercolour pencils, it includes a water brush and 24 sheets of pre-printed designs. They're all florals or foliage. Some are sort of around the edge, and they're 6x4. Thanks, Kerry. So I'll be sharing that on Wednesday morning as normal, and then we'll be back Thursday evening when I'll be introducing more work with the coordinating embossing folder and also the dies. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day ahead. I hope you have a great week as well. On Wednesday, Kerry, it's the same time, 10 o'clock Wednesday morning. I'm doing a kit catch-up because there's so many kits that I haven't got around to sharing with everybody. So I'm doing a kit catch-up every Wednesday morning, 10 AM UK time, so same time as this. So I'll hope you're able to join me for that. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great morning, afternoon or evening, depending on where you are and when you're watching. I am releasing details of our November class. I've just got to do the last of the photos, and you'll see details of that later. And that's a fun Christmas card class featuring the Snowy Wonder and Snowy Scenes papers. Look forward to seeing you. And do take care. Thanks for joining me, and bye for now.